So we're gonna do this next, and it's called the paper hat. This is my life-size paper hat. I just love this. But for our purposes today, to make it easier, we're gonna do a smaller one. And what I'm gonna show you is the size paper we're using for this, but if you wanna do a life-size one, it's a 24 by 24 inch piece. But I will explain that to you as we go along, but we're gonna do the small one, but it's exactly the same as the big one. So in this packet, we're going to pull out our paper. I even put little instructions in here for you that I drew out so you can see what we did. So what you want to start with is a square. And this is 11 by 11, and then I cut it in half. So now it's 11 by 5.5, and that's what we have, is two pieces, 11 by 5.5. So if you wanted to do a really large one, you would have a 24 by 24. You'd cut it in half, so you have a 24 by 12 and a 24 by 12. So the bigger the square, the bigger the project. Okay, we do have some extra paper here. I don't necessarily need to do it now. I'm going to show you how you could use this if your paper is not double-sided, because whatever is on the front of this paper will be the top of your hat. The back side of your paper will be the rim. So if it's not double-sided, what you might want to do is just glue or tape a piece of this to the inside back. Oh, and on this one, it's probably about 1.5 inches wide. But I'm not going to actually put this on here, but you're going to see when we're done why I did that. And if you wanted to do that, you would do that right now. You would just put that on the back of both sides, so your front and back, the edges would look the same, and your top of your hat and your sides would all look the same. Okay, so we are going to start with this. We have them cut in half. We're going to start with one of them. And after we finish this one, we're going to do the second one in the exact same way. So I'm going to fold this in half, so now it is 5.5 by 5.5. I'm going to open it back up, fold it the other way. I think this is 2 3/4, but this is what it looks like. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna fold this back in half this way, and I'm gonna take, you can see your center line here. You're gonna take both of these points and bring to the center. Bring this one down, bring this one down, just like that. Okay, now what we're going to do next is open this up. Now you want this center line to be a valley. So I'm folding it in, and you want these two to be mountain. This is a mountain, but this side isn't. And it probably doesn't really matter. It just makes it easier, this fold that you're going to do. And I have it on the diagram. The two outside edges are mountains, the center one's a valley. You just squish it, and there we go. Does that make sense? Okay, we've got to there. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is going to take this edge, bring it to the center, bring this edge to the center. Do the same thing with the other side. Now I'm going to take this, bring it down just below this edge. You do not want it to go over the end of these two flaps. You want it, because you're going to need to fold it up one more time, and you won't be able to if you do. So you fold it up once to here and once to here. Let's turn that over. Once to here, once to here. Okay. Okay, if there's a tricky part to any of this, this is it, but it's really not that tricky. Let me just show you. So, see, we have this line, the very bottom one, that fold line right there. And then we have this line here. I want this edge to be right there. So it's gonna look a little squirrely, and it's almost easy to do both at the same time. This edge laying right there. And then you're going to make like, it looks like a little boat. Okay, once again, this edge right there, making a boat. Okay, let's do the other side. Once again, this edge right here, this edge. And if you can get this edge part thing down, this is like a piece of cake. Okay. Okay, so what we're gonna do, you have this, you're gonna open it up, and you're going to bring this out. If you want to, you can square it off. You could even, when you get both pieces together, you could even just put a piece of square, perfectly square cardstock in there to make it very nice and flat. Now we're gonna do the other side, exactly the same, and we're gonna lay it on top of here, and those pieces are gonna go there. Very easy. Open that up. I think it's almost easier to do it on the table. We just go like this, square it up. Now what we're gonna do, I'm gonna set this, and I don't know why one always seems a little bigger than the other. Don't ask me why, it just is. Sometimes. Set one and the other, and what you're gonna do is take these corners, take one corner, shove it into there. Does that look pretty simple? And you could even use a little glue stick and push this down. But you can see why, I mean, it just seems so white. But it doesn't matter. If that's the way you want it, it'd be perfect. So that's why we glued the strips on the back sides of the edges, and that's what you end up with. So the only other thing I had in here, and you could do this, or you can omit this, or you can add whatever you would love to your hat. I am just gonna squish all this paper up real quick, and they're different sizes. They're not real fancy, but. And here's a big one, and I'm just gonna kind of lay them, they're more like ovals, so I'm just kind of overlapping them at different angles. I'm gonna staple a little X in the center, squish them up, and then I would probably get my spray dye and just spray them up a little bit and let them dry, and they'll be pretty. And this is just very primitive, but it's a really fun flower. And you could add it to your hat, or not. And you have, and after you've sprayed it, it'll look so pretty, and just add it onto your hat. And there you go. Hope you enjoyed this, guys. Whatever you do, have fun.